Greystar has won.
Welcome to Greyhound Gossip, featuring Peter O'Neill. This is where we take a look at the WA Greyhound racing scene, keeping a close look at what is happening on and off the track.
Keep an eye on the clock. She is brilliant, Miata. She stops the clock. 36.55, a new track record.
Racing. First away, Sunset Peppy. Lead Sunset Nightjar. The inside, Kanan Stark. Myaniki Boy, Sunset Tyson. Emerald Guard, Sunset Comanche. And beaten for early burn was another James. Sunset Peppy a length. Over Sunset Nightjar. Here's Kanan Stark zooming through. Myaniki Boy rails strongly as well. Kanan Stark hit the lead. Myaniki Boy's getting room on the rail. Myaniki Boy hit the lead. Sunset Comanche flies. But Myaniki Boy has won the Mandurah Derby impressively by 2 lengths. Kanan Stark or Sunset Comanche.
Yes, brilliant win by Myaniki Boy in the Mandurah Derby, the listed final on Friday night at Mandurah. Very good morning, everyone. Welcome along to Greyhound Gossip. Let's get straight into the program. Adam Smithson's been good enough to give his time this morning. And Adam, as I say good morning to you, it was a brilliant victory. He had to do a little bit of work and took the right choice up along the fence to record his 7th victory at Mandurah over the distance and in a very important race, the Mandurah Derby. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Pete. Yeah, like you said, he had to do it the hard way after getting shuffled back, but no, he's the run presented on the rail and he took it.
He was well supported before the race. David Hobby obviously had a strong hand in the race with his greyhounds going very well. He had 4 of the 8 runners in the final. Was any of the money from you, or were you confident going into the final?
Oh, look, no, there was no money from me or anyone I know. It was one of those races. He certainly had the ability, but the draw just turned the whole race upside down. So we were relying on a bit of luck early, but we knew if he did get the right run, we were in there with a chance. But it sort of ran upside down the whole race, really, from what we really expected him to do to win the race to how it actually panned out.
So talk us through from behind the boxes on Friday night when he jumped and didn't get the start that you were probably expecting. What were your thoughts after 50 metres?
Yeah, well, to be fair, he sort of needed to at least begin with him and sort of get into a spot, and he did that in a way, but where he ended up going past the 400-metre boxes, I thought, oh, well, we're sort of running for top 3 here, best case scenario, but the way the run just, he had a lot of room down the back and everything sort of fell into place. I thought going past the 300-metre boxes, we just need to get through for him to have a good crack.
A greyhound that has certainly made his stamp on Mandurah. He's now, as I mentioned, won 6 of 7 over the distance. Let's go back to the starting point and how you actually got this greyhound into your care.
Oh, well, he's from Victoria. The owners had a bitch over here, honestly, too, that just a change of scenery and getting her over to WA, it worked a treat for her, and she sparked up and sort of put it together at Cannington. And he was a young dog over there that showed plenty of ability, but just wasn't putting it together on the racetrack. So he'd only had the 2 starts there, and I think he'd already won a race over there. But they just thought he had a bit more to give, and they sort of tried the same route as Honestly too, sort of get him over here, change it all up, and see what he can do.
Who trained him in Victoria?
Graham Joes had him in Victoria.
Okay, so Graham's had success over here before. Is his wife the manager of the syndicate?
Yes, it is. Yeah, Tanya. I think she bred and reared Anarchy Boy. So yeah, no, she owns part of Honestly too as well, and yeah, her and her daughter I think own Anarchy Boy.
Really nice family, a nice guy as well, Graham. He's had success, as I mentioned, in WA before. What was his? What did he say to you, and did he give you much advice when he first sent Myaniki Boy across to WA?
Oh, it was more of one of those, look, get him over there. We know he's got some sort of ability. He's just not showing it. I think he was just more frustrated with the dog that, he knew the dog could run and he just wasn't putting it together over there. And he sort of just said, look, get him over there and give him a go. If it doesn't work out, send him home. But he sort of said from the start, the dog has got ability. It's just a matter of getting it out of him.
He's a very talented greyhound that's run some really slick times. He went 26.93. He was the quickest qualifier in his heat. And, of course, back in December, he went 26.91. So he obviously loves the track and the one turn at Mandurah.
Yeah, he does. I said yesterday with the boys in the morning that I can't pinpoint exactly what it is. His runs at Cannington aren't disastrous by any means, but he's a much classier dog at Mandurah. He just loves that 488 start.
He's run a 26.91, as I mentioned, at Mandurah. His best at Cannington is 29.94. Now, the fact that he's so quick, has he been able to trial solo on his own at Cannington quicker than that?
No, he's never gone solo 500 at Cannington. But, no, look, to be fair, he's earned a crack to head back to Cannington now after his last couple of runs at Mandurah. So I'll probably take him up there for a trial during the week and might have a crack at the WA Derby.
Yeah, well served. Of course, the winner of last year's race, Crumble Manelli, went on to win the Derby, and a few of these winners of the Mandurah Derby have been able to do so. And the rich stake money that's on offer is well worth sending him up there. How's the rest of the team going, Adam?
Yeah, team's going okay for what I've got actually racing at the minute. There's a couple of dogs just ticking over, but I've got a stack of pups coming through shortly, so there's 5 or 6 that will hopefully race in the next 6 to 8 weeks, and then I'll start breaking in another 8 after that. So we're in a bit of a lull at the minute with just dogs coming through and older dogs finishing up. But no, they're ticking over nicely.
You've seen and you've been involved in slot racing before. What did you make of the Sandgroper a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, look, it's great. From what we never really had a slot race here in WA at all, and we sort of sit and watch from afar of how they did it in Victoria and all of that, and to bring it over here and get the eyeballs on WA racing and just having that quality of dog come over and do their thing, it's always a good thing to expose WA racing to Australia.
We see the return to Northam today, which a lot of the industry will be looking forward to. Do you use the Northam track at all to give your greyhounds a different aspect on different racing at daylight meetings up at Northam?
Yeah, look, I used to go up there quite a bit. I didn't the last season we had up there. Just the timing didn't work for the dogs I had. But I'll definitely be heading up there in the next month or so to take a handful of dogs up there.
Good on you. Well done with My Anarchy Boy taking out the Mandurah Derby listed race there. Very good prize money, and well done to the Joses. And let's hope that you can have some success during the series of the WA Derby, the Group 2 series coming up in a couple of weeks.
Thanks a lot, Pete.
Good on you. Adam Smithson joining us, and that was a very good win by My Anarchy Boy, coming from behind and finding the fence, defeating Sunset Comanche and also Canaan Stark. Was also heats of the Mandurah Oaks, and of course we've had some very good greyhounds that have won the Mandurah Oaks over the years. Last year there wasn't a Mandurah Oaks final. There was declared a no race, but West on Sadie the year before for Damien Crudelli, and now Seabrook. Starbook won it for Jamie Marsh back in 2020, and you go all the way back to the early years where Casey Robin in 1998 and Hugs and Dreams in 1994 for Christine Robertson was the first ever winner of the Mandurah Oaks. On Friday night, we saw some very good greyhounds going around. Of course, David Hobby, who has some very strong bitches and dogs that are racing at the moment, and he dominated again. So Sunset Hornet was too good as a short price favourite in race number 4 on the program, defeating West on Miley and also Sunset Lasso. The 6 Green Rugger won again with Sunset Serengeti, 4 from 4 now over the distance of the 488 metres, defeating Lip Tricks and also Wise Abalone. And then we saw Wise Barra successful in the final of the heats for Chris Hollis, defeating Shy Emoji and also Tahiti Dream. So the final this week, the box draw has Sunset Lasso in 1, Sunset Serengeti 2, Sunset Hornet 3, Wise Barra 4, West on Miley's drawn 5, Tahiti Dream 6, Lip Tricks in box number 7 and Shy Emoji in box number 8. And Tab Touch has the market up now. Sunset Lasso $9, Sunset Serengeti $3.40, Sunset Hornet $3.80, Wise Barra is the favourite at $3, West on Miley 15, Tahiti Dreams 21, Lip Trick 17 and Shy Emoji currently quoted at $7. That is for the Mandurah Oaks coming up on Friday night. And also while on the futures markets, we saw the form from the Sandgroper continue on the East Coast with some very good winners on Thursday night at Sandown and also at Warrnambool. And the Warrnambool Cup final has a few of the runners through, including Morton, who's currently the favourite for the Warrnambool Cup and has drawn box number 3. So Super Shanks at $26, Trooper Tears, who ran in the Sandgroper, currently at $8. Morton in box 3, $3.20. Maclock at $5. Fernando Phil in box number 5 is at $5. Flying Zulu $4.60. Description at $17, and Bernie Burrow is the outsider at $7. That final coming up on Wednesday during the Warrnambool Carnival, which is a great place to go if you've never been to Warrnambool before. Let's continue on with Greyhound gossip. Paul Kaltsis is about to join us. He had a big weekend and a double on Saturday night. The feature was the running of the Sprinters Plate.
Racing, Get a Beer came out fairly, showing early speed, was after show, also driving across from out wide West on Hazy, who got dragged down. Get a Beer got severely checked, and shooting away was after show out by 2 lengths. Disco Daisy up on the inside, Aussie Singman well backwards, West on Hazy, Agent 11 also Speedy Willow around the corner. After show, Aussie Singman up on the inside, after show, Aussie Singman, all not sure. Aussie Singman put the nose down right on the line. After show's right there though, don't throw away your ticket. Back in third place goes the way of Disco Daisy, West on Hazy, then followed by Spider Venom, Agent 11. Get a Beer had no luck with Speedy Willow.
It certainly was a very, very exciting finish, and there was only a half head in it in the end, and After Show was able to win for Paul Kaltsis, and Paul joins us online this morning. Paul, congratulations. Very good win and a good night for you on Saturday night at Cannington.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Did you think you'd won from the position that you were in? Can you see the screen over on the far side, or were you still uncertain?
No, I actually congratulated the second place getter.
Did you really? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Aussie Singman came very quickly. It was a really good race, wasn't it? A good run by your bitch, who had to kick up strongly on the inside after being moderately away.
Yeah, no, the key is getting around that bend in front, isn't it?
It certainly is. She's been a very good chaser for you. She's now won 10 of 29 over the distance and a 21.62 best back in September, but she just really chases really hard, and she's now won in excess of $60,000, which is fantastic for you and the connections of the Wowie Flyers Syndicate.
Yep. She also holds a record at Northam over the short.
Were you confident going into the race on Saturday night?
I thought I'd be running a place because I thought all she has to do is really jump and she'll be there somewhere.
And is that the biggest win that you've had as a trainer?
No, it's not.
What's the biggest that you've had?
I represented WA many years ago for the Nationals.
And what was the Greyhound's name, Paul?
Dance All Day.
Dance All Day, that's right. Where did you travel with Dance All Day?
She was in Victoria. She won free-for-alls at Sandown, and when I brought her over here, she basically... That was the one that got bitten by a snake early in the year and took 6 months to come good, and she ended up representing the state over long.
Yeah, it was I remember that. Yeah, remember that. It was a really good story. So how did you...
Yep.
We'll come back to After Show in a moment. How did you get involved in greyhound racing?
An old fellow down the road when I was a young fella, I was about 6 or 7, he was walking greyhounds, and I said, well, what are these? And he goes, they're greyhounds. He's come up and have a look, and it's sort of bug hit. And then the family sort of got involved, and we loved them.
And how many greyhounds would you have in your care now?
I've got about a dozen race dogs and about another 10 or so we're trying.
Yeah. And the owners of After Show, are they first-time owners in the greyhounds, or have they been involved for a while?
No, they own a couple of others, but that's their happiest moment, I'd say.
Yeah, a lot of excitement for them, and to win a feature race with good prize money over a 380-metre distance is really good. And we're seeing more of these short course features, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, and really, you're sort of limited, aren't you? Like that sort of distance dog, that 400-metre dog, you're sort of limited, aren't you?
You certainly are. You mentioned Northam. The season gets underway later on today, so a 12-race program up there at Northam. A lot of the industry will be excited to get back up there, and it's probably a track that you'll be venturing up to during the year.
Yeah, I might take After Show probably up there again, and I might try Sky Manelli over. There's a 700-metre race coming up there.
Yep. In
a week or two. Sky Manelli up there. Should suit her. Good railer.
What about Notorious Harada? Would Notorious Harada be a greyhound that would be suited up there or not?
Yeah, I'll take her up, but she's lacking a bit of confidence at the moment. She's just coming out and getting knocked around, and she's lost a bit of confidence.
And you also won recently with a greyhound that's nicely bred called Girls Like You, this Scootaloo litter that has thrown a few winners. Jamie Marsh, I think, owns Girls Like You and has been a nice little performer for you.
Yeah, no, she's going pretty good. She's probably racing better than you would have thought, maybe.
So
she's reserved in that Oaks final as well, so...
Yeah, good run the other night.
She goes okay,
yeah. You mentioned that you've got a few in work at the moment. I remember when you first came involved, you were involved in doing a lot of work with Cosy D'Agostino. Tell us about that association.
Well, with Cosy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I trained a couple for him. And a dog called Fearless Storm sort of started Cosy's career off because I was training it for him. And I said, listen, why don't you just train your own dogs and I'll tell you what to do. And he started training it from there, using Fearless Storm as his probably first one. I think he made the major cup, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Oh, you've had some very good dogs, and you've got a nice one here after show that's performed very well on Saturday night, winning the Sprinters Plate final. Congratulations. Thanks for joining us this morning.
No problems. Thanks, Peter.
Good on you. Paul Kaltsis joining us, and after show taking out the Greyhounds WA Sprinters Plate final on Saturday night.
J&M Smash Repairs have been delivering the highest quality automotive smash repairs for over 40 years.
When you need 5-star service and a team you can rely on, J&M Smash Repairs fit the bill.
J&M Smash Repairs are now approved body shop repairers for the high-tech Tesla vehicle and are a certified repairer for Holden.
That's why these guys are regarded as the best in the business.
They're the automotive experts and offer a lifetime warranty on all repairs.
Make J&M Smash Repairs your choice of repairer.
jmsmash.com.au.
Want to maintain your mobility and independence? Rockingham Kwinana Mobility supplies equipment such as bathroom aids, ShopRider scooters and functional beds to assist you with your day-to-day activities. They can help with NDIS and home care equipment supplies. Check out the showroom, speak to their friendly staff and occupational therapists. Rockingham Kwinana Mobility, Dixon Road, Rockingham, beside Battery World. Make your life easier with Rockingham and Kwinana Mobility.
Just wanted to mention on Greyhound Gossip, we heard the sad news last week of the passing of Tony Lee Rickman. She, of course, had been working at Greyhounds WA for many, many years, and she was very, very popular as a kennel supervisor. She was also a swab supervisor, and she was a lovely lady that inspired a lot of the industry, and she lost her life, unfortunately, last week. And she'll be laid to rest tomorrow at the Seasons Funerals in Nicholson Road, Canning Vale. So that funeral, if you can make it along, is at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And we send out our condolences to the family of Tony Lee. And good news coming through on a different note, on a brighter note, good news coming through last week from the Stewards Department and also Racing and Wagering Western Australia in regards to a new heat policy which will be brought into effect coming through November. And we've just experienced one of the hottest summers ever here in Western Australia. And as from the 1st of November, I believe, and I'll have this confirmed later on today, but from the 1st of November, all greyhounds will need to be transported in vehicles or trailers that are air conditioned from that date. And if the temperature is above 32 degrees, then all greyhounds will need to be transported in a vehicle that has air conditioning and also a trailer that has air conditioning as well. So there might be a few trainers that need to make some adjustments, and while there will be a cost involved there, it's for the welfare of the greyhounds, and I think that's very, very important indeed. We will look forward to racing today at Northam. Of course, the first race there today getting underway at just after 1 o'clock. And the lady who will be giving all the information on TAB Radio Racing and Sport is joining us in the studio, Leah Ernest. And Leah, as I say, good morning to you. You must be excited about the return to greyhound racing today at Northam. The first race is at 1:19. Jesse Earnshaw will be heading up there, and a lot of the industry have been trialling in recent weeks. There's been a lot of work done to the track, and it'll be good to be back at Northam. No, not working. I'll get your headset working and then we'll get you on air so that we can actually hear your lovely voice and dulcet tones on TAB Radio. But a 12-race program today, a few of them over the 297 metres and a few over the 509 as well. The 509 free-for-all is a very good race indeed with Angie Brown, and having a couple of good runners up there, including Opie Manelli. Cindy Doyle's obviously got a good record of the track, and Sunset Givenchy for Eric Campana is well drawn in box number 1. That's later on today. Good morning.
Good morning, Pete. If you don't want me on the show, I can take a hint.
No? You must be excited about Northern returning today?
Yes, although you must be a bit sad, Pete, because you won't get to go by the bakery.
No, I won't, but it's a little bit of extra work that I've got in here in the studios at the moment. But so the Northern program today, and then we heard from Adam Smithson earlier on about his win in the Mandurah Derby, and we have the final of the Mandurah Oaks this Friday night. Some very good heats last Friday.
Yes, I was in the studio. It was very exciting to be able to be here for that and watch it on live on the TV, as well as live here with Ryan Levitsky calling all the action. Exciting weekend though for you, Pete. You had a winning double with Apple Crumble and Curate's Egg.
Yeah, so Curate's Egg was very short on Friday night in a fairly weak race for him, but good to see him back and fit, and hopefully he'll be able to step up to a longer distance this week. So he's going very, very well. And also Apple Crumble surprised me, because I thought that Toad, who had a vacant box on his inside, would be too strong for him, but he found the front, and like we see in a lot of greyhound racing, if you're out in front, then it's a big advantage.
It is. What are the plans moving forward with both those greyhounds?
I think Chris is thinking about going towards the WA Derby for Apple Crumble, so I'm not sure if he's up to that sort of class, but he did make the final of the Puppy Classic,
yes,
going back a month or so ago. So, greyhounds, as I've said before, if they lead at Cannington and there's trouble behind, and we saw in the Sandgroper with the greyhound that was able to find the top and race clear because there's trouble behind. If there's any trouble in a race like a heat of the WA Derby, then he could be left in front and he might be able to qualify through to the final.
Well, fingers crossed, Pete, and maybe you'll have another Group 1 winner on your hands at some point again this year.
Yeah, the last one I had was probably not really mine to be able to brag about. Northern today, we're about to be joined by Tim Walker, who's about to join us in the studios, and he'll be taking us through and taking a look back at the Fremantle Cup. Was also a very good broadcast that we had. We had Tim Walker in the studio along with Trent Cooper and Matt Young, who was trackside there on Friday night. Some very good racing, and great to see the Gaths across in Western Australia while they took the prize money back to the eastern states. Catch a Wave was enormous.
Oh, wonderful. Having them win the Nullarbor and then coming back again to win the Fremantle Cup is huge. And also shout out to Denny Roberts. She had her 600th win on the Friday as well. It was really lovely being a part of the broadcast, because usually it's outside, so I'm in the studio by myself, but we got to hear from all the guests to be a part of it. We had Tim and Trent, and then cross to the parade ring. I definitely think we should be doing it more often, Pete.
And we see, on another note, on thoroughbreds, you're across all codes now. Thoroughbreds, we see Amelia's Jewel will be heading across to South Australia before she heads to the eastern states and joins a new stable. How's that feel for you?
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, Annabelle Neesham, she's obviously taking over. We're very excited for that, and we'll have Damien Lane go over to Adelaide for the race, and Dad will be flying over in 2 weeks' time. So it's all happening, and we're straight into racing with Amelia's Jewel.
Yeah, very exciting indeed. We'll take a break. Straight after this, Tim Walker will be in for Off and Pacing.